Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hatoraid Cowboy here. I'm here at CEDIA 2024, and I'm super excited to talk with Epson. I've got Melvin here. Melvin,
Nice to meet you.
how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So, as you guys know, I have the LS 12000 in my home theater. I love that projector. And previously, that was the flagship, but now they have three new projectors, the Q series, and there's some exciting new technology. I got a chance to see them in person, and I'll try to get some B-roll for you guys. But I got to see them at a press event a few days ago, and I'm very impressed. They've made some good improvements. So I have Melvin here, and I'm gonna have Melvin talk a little bit about the new projectors and why you guys decided to go a little bit more high end.
Well, it's really based on the voice of the customer, and we talk to our sales reps, we talk to our dealers, and we talk to our end users about what they really wanted, especially with respect to the custom integration channel. They wanted to see Epson make some really high-end products. We were not that cheap. I mean, we're kind of cheap, is what they were saying. They want to see some premium projectors. So we introduced the Q series, which goes beyond our current LS 12000 flagship unit at $5,000 retail, into the $8,000, $15,000, and $30,000 range. So we're really giving our custom integration channel some nice profit there. But more importantly, we're giving them the tools to build projection experiences in virtually any room. This is really great for us. We have a lineup of three projectors: the QB 1000, the QL 3000, and the QL 7000 at our flagship. Yeah, that's the new product lineup that we have.
Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit more about the advancements that you have made over the LS 12000? Because really, that was really the only flagship projector that somebody wanted to get into Epson, but now you have three new ones. So tell us a little bit more about the advancements over the LS 12000 being those three different tiers.
Sure. Yep. So for the first of all, starting off with the QB 1000, we introduced 22% more brightness, laser light. So we're at 3,300 lumens of brightness, equal color and white brightness. And we introduce a new auto low latency mode. And really spectacular for movie viewing is dynamic tone mapping. So those three main features contribute to a greater visual movie experience and a great gaming experience with the introduction of auto low latency mode. That's the QB 1000. And then the QL 3000 and QL 7000, this is a new high brightness platform. The QL 3000 is at 6,000 lumens of equal color and white brightness. And this is spectacular. The QL series in general has interchangeable lenses, and we can use the range of Epson designed and engineered, manufactured in Japan lenses that will suit the range of throw distances for your rooms for virtually any application. We're even showing right here a very unique application where we're embedding the QL 3000 above it, in a room above the ceiling with the short throw lens peeking out. So this creates like really a spectacular hidden projection experience. The projection experience just blends into the room, and right here it's about 3 feet away from the wall, and we're projecting onto the wall. Yeah, we're projecting onto a wall a 120-inch image. So just it's awesome. Like we're giving our interior designers and custom integrators just amazing, building blocks for creating immersive experiences in virtually any room. That's the QL 3000. And then for the QL 7000, same platform, but 10,000 lumens of equal color and light brightness. And this is spectacular. In the far area over here, we're showing the QL 7000 at 10,000 lumens brightness. It's mounted 21 feet away from a drop-down motorized Stuart film screen, 180-inch high ambient light rejection screen. Yeah, Stuart film screen, Phantom Haler Plus screen. Awesome. And the key behind this is the experience of immersive entertainment doesn't have to be a black rectangular, piece of glass that's sitting on your wall, because when you turn that off, that's what it is, right? But what we can do with our immersive experiences is hide these screens away, hide the projector away in an elevator lift, and when you want entertainment, It just comes right out of the wall, right out of the ceiling, and you have this just immersive experience that's not interfering with the interior design of your living room.
Nice. Yeah, and like I said, I got a chance to check that out during the press event. Looks beautiful. They took us into the theater that you guys have. They did some A/B comparisons between the two Q series. Awesome. One thing I noticed immediately is the black levels have been improved, and one thing I want you to touch on is you guys actually have genuine HDR tone mapping now, right? Over which there was some tone mapping on the LS12000, but this has been much improved.
Yeah, that's correct. We have now dynamic tone mapping, so it's frame by frame, and we don't have to go in and adjust the picture as use as you go, depending on the scene. If a scene, because that's an experience that you don't want to interrupt. You just want to continuously enjoy that movie and just have the picture just look great, so you don't have to worry about the technology.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm really excited about the advancements that you guys are doing. I've been an Epson fan. You know, you guys have. I know you said earlier some people may have had a issue with the budget brand, but you guys are improving it on that, and you guys are basically coming at JVC and Sony with their projectors, and you can't say that it's a budget brand anymore. I personally never had a problem with it because it's within my budget, but yeah, I'm glad that you guys are making more options.
Yeah, we're really trying to break away from creating projectors that are solely for the home theater, the dedicated darkroom home theater. But absolutely, we can play in those spaces. But what we're doing with the brand is we're creating premium experiences with these new high brightness projectors where you can take projection into virtually any room. These projectors also give you the capability of customization. We can remove the top cover. We wrap them in automotive wrap, so like you can to show off your school spirit, or to blend in with your interior environment, or to play homage to your favorite athlete like Shaquille O'Neal. Like we can do that, right? We can do that. We're giving interior designers and custom integrators, builders, architects this opportunity to build these experiences for their customers that are just amazing.
That's great. Well, before we close out and hopefully show you guys some B-roll, why don't you tell us a little bit? Well, I know you said before at the press event, HDMI 2.1 on both HDMI in and HDMI, or HDMI 1, HDMI 2, correct?
Correct.
And then why don't you tell us the availability and pricing on these three new models?
Yep. So HDMI 2.1 on all of the projectors, and they are capable of up to 4K 120. We also have a fallback to 2K 120. If you don't have an HDMI 2.1 audio video receiver, then you can fall back and play 2K 120 games. So still fast frame rate for those game players that want to play in that fast frame rate mode. And what was the other question?
Availability and pricing.
Yes, availability and pricing. The QB1000 is available now. The QL3000 is available in October. And the retail price for the QB1000 is $79.99. The QL3000 is $14,999. And the QL7000 is $29.99. $29,999.
And the Epson LS12000 is still going to be there.
That's correct. The Epson LS12000 will remain in the lineup for years to come.
Awesome. Well, Melvin, I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule and telling the viewers a little bit more about these projectors. Again, I'm excited, and I think that this is only going to be a good thing for Epson moving forward.
It's so exciting. Very exciting. Thanks for having us.
All right, guys. Well, I'll take you into the theater and show you guys, some B-roll and some of the actual footage of the projectors.
My name is Rob Brennan. I'm the technical account manager with Epson. And 2 weeks ago, Epson announced a new Q series line of projectors. In the theater here today, we have 2 of the 3 new Q series models we'll be taking a look at. We're going to start with the QB1000, and then we're going to move over to the QL3000. All right. The philosophy behind the Q series is pretty simple. To deliver high brightness, to improve picture quality, specifically HDR performance, in a compact and quiet chassis. The 2 projectors I have in the theater room right now are both on, and they're both at 100% laser output, and they're operating at 28 decibels. That is quieter than a whisper. The QL7000, which is in the room next door, operates at 33 decibels, which is whisper quiet. All 3 models run off a standard 110 volt power. What that means is you can deploy very high brightness easily in lots of spaces. You don't need a hush box. You don't need to call an electrician. You don't need a second AC unit to keep it cool. Q Series meets your customers where they are. If they have a living room, if they have a den, if they have a media room or a basement, if they have a ceiling, you can deploy a Q Series. You don't need to worry about the other kind of stuff that goes along. You typically with high brightness projection. That's what Q Series represents. Now, the QB1000 that we're going to start taking a look at first is the same exact chassis as Epson's LS12000. That model is going to continue. But the QB1000 delivers 22% more brightness. So that's 3,300 lumens. It also has improved black level and the new upgraded QZX processor, which makes a lot of things nicer, but most notably it adds dynamic tone mapping for the first time in an Epson projector. So we're going to take a look pretty heavily at HDR content. Let me walk you through the rest of the room so you know what it is you're looking at and listening to. Up front, from Stuart, we have Director's Choice 4-way masking screen. The material is Phantom Haler Plus. The audio is a 7.4.4 configuration. The LCR surround and surround backs are from Bowers. The 4 subwoofers and overheads are definitive. The power in the back is provided by Marantz. The control is Control 4. The source is Kaleidoscape. And the chairs are Amazon.com, right?
You probably said the pre-pro, but my brain was turned.
Control 4.
No, pre-pro.
Marantz.
Oh, you said power.
Power for the, that's what I meant.
And
Yes, power processing. Great question. One last specification I want to give you, and this was not intentional, but I found it interesting. We had the 2 projectors in this room calibrated. So Kevin Miller, ISF calibrator, came in and calibrated these for us. This is 160 inches. And the QB1000 is laying down, and this resulting image is 110 nits. Now that's a very interesting number in my opinion, which is why I wanted to point it out. Anyone been to a Dolby Cinema before? You know, you pay extra money for that, right? The standard there is 106 nits. To be able to deliver that level of brightness and HDR impact at this size, at $8,000, that's uncharted territory in the land of projectors. That's what makes Q Series so unique. It is a new kind of level of performance in this compact and quiet chassis. If you wanted to do this type of brightness before now, you would need to spend a lot more money and you need a much bigger unit to do it, right? That's what Q Series is all about. All right, let's jump into the first demonstration here, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And again, this is the QB1000. Before I hit play, I'm going to increase, actually, we'll do it now. I'm going to increase the romance by 80%. All right, and that's the QB1000. What I want to do next is switch over to the QL3000. There are a couple differences. You can see the chassis for the QL is a slightly larger chassis. Also, we're going from 3,300 lumens to 6,000 lumens. So now we're in big boy territory, right? Lastly, it's an interchangeable lens projector. So when you order the QL3000 or the QL7000, just remember that a lens is not included. You need to order whichever lens you want separately. There are about 13 lenses to choose from ultra short 0.3 throw ratio out to about 12.0 throw ratio, and pretty much everything in between. To give you a sense of cost, the standard lens that we typically recommend is the ELPL M15. It has a throw ratio of 1.57 to 2.56 or thereabouts, which is essentially the same throw ratio that most fixed projectors use, right? So it's pretty standard, especially if you're upgrading someone's projector to one of the new QLs. That lens is $1,700, okay? So let's go ahead and switch over to the QL in terms of the brightness. We've now gone on screen from about 110 nits to just a touch under 300. Now that is another interesting number that I wanted to point out because DCI recently finalized their recommendation for high performance commercial theater. 300 nits is their recommendation. So the ability to deliver this level of brightness at this size, at this cost, at this nothing sound is also brand new for the projector space. As far as the demo itself, listen, CEDIA is September. September is the beginning of the holidays. Holidays are all about family. So you know exactly what we're going to watch on this projector, right? Now, about a minute and a half or so into this clip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these sconces back on. Because the second thing that brightness gives you, besides the ability to generate a beautiful picture with good HDR kind of effect, is that you can watch comfortably with ambient light conditions. So even in a dedicated space, you want to be able to turn on the lights sometimes. So about a minute and a half in, I'll do that, and then we can see what the projector looks like.
What control system are you using?
Control 4.
What are you doing?
Prepared for what's to come.
Dominic! I brought you back to where we first met. I have a surprise for you. Dom! I'm listening now. Dominic! Dominic! You stop hurting my new friends.
No. Only here to hurt you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That little car stunt you just did? That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? That's so cool. If you don't stop, I'm gonna cut her everywhere.
All right, so now we were able to see the QL3000 with the lights off and of course with the lights on. Ambient light performance is important. The last thing that high brightness gives you is the ability to go much larger, and this also is critical. We've always thought of projectors as the bigger solution, but who's been in the industry long enough to remember selling 92-inch screens? You sell many of those anymore? Right? What about 100-inch screens? Not so much. 120 has still recently been a very popular size, but with 100-inch TVs, you know, the customer has a decision to make because there is a convenience factor with television, you know, from an installation and everything perspective. So projectors need to continue to push the boundaries into territory where something like TV can't follow. So when we're talking about, you know, 130s, 140s, you know, 160s, maybe even 190s like this.
How many nits are we hitting?
So this one I did not measure because we did this after Kevin Miller left, but I've estimated it just using the other one as a precursor. This is basically 200 nits at this size, right? But I will let the content speak for itself. That concludes the demonstrations in the theater this morning. If you had not had a chance yet, please, I'd encourage you to go around this corner into the rest of the Epson booth. There you can find the QL7000, the 10,000 lumen projector that we're showing on a 180-inch motorized screen. And we have a couple of additional QL3000, one with an ultra short throw and one using AV Pro's 4-up display for a really cool experience.